how can you tailor the custom instructions and the way that your chatbot works, your custom GPT? So if you've got a GPT trained on your own data, like this one for example, how can I make sure that people aren't getting incorrect information or it's not hallucinating? Well, with ChatIQ it's actually incredibly easy to do. All we do is we look through the messages that people have sent to the chatbot, we see what messages people are sending, and we can actually build a negative list of information that we don't want our chatbot to say, and we can just add it to a custom instruction. So for example here, this is an example that I just did in the last video where I don't want the chatbot to tell people that they can upload CSV files, because obviously you can't. So for example, now when I ask can I upload a CSV file, it has an automated response like ChatIQ cannot interpret complex data such as CSV files. However, you can do this. If you have any further questions, then for example, can I link with my API? It still knows from this custom negative keyword, this negative instruction, that you can't upload an API, but if they need any additional help with specific requirements, they can always contact us and we can help them out with that. So how do you actually do this? Well, either log into your ChatIQ account. If you've already got an account. If you haven't got an account, you can get started for a free trial, 14-day free trial. Just put in your URL for your website. You'll go ahead and scrape all of that information, and it will give you, somewhere over here, it will give you your custom built chatbot. So you'll have a chatbot like this, for example, that's got all of your information, and here are the list of all of your chatbots. So when you get started, it will just create one simple chatbot for you with the basic instructions that you'll then want to customize and tailor. And this video is for those of you guys who haven't yet tailored or customized your chatbots. If you click this button here, it's going to take us to the actual chatbot within our workspace. Let's just select, hang on. So I just selected the latest message. Let me just make myself smaller. And once everything's loaded up, you can see the source information that it's using for its responses. Now, if it's showing up like this, empty sources, it's because you've probably not got enough information. This has only got 8 bits of data currently available to it. But if I ask it here, for example, CSV files, this is me testing it internally before I set it, embed it on my website. If it's already embedded on your website, then what you can do is, let me just move this out of the way. It's very annoying. Put that down here. If I go to messages and I go to the main chatbot, I can actually look at what people are sending. So for example, people are asking how does it work? How does it work? How does it work? This is, okay, what is orange but green, yellow but fire truck, Osama but stomachache? So people are just sending random messages, right? And in these cases, I want to make sure that it's not responding to these questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this conversation and we're going to come over to our chatbot, which is the main chatbot here. We're going to scroll down to the chatbot settings, and we can see here that it's using the basic prompt. So if we come to our custom instructions, and there's a whole library, we can create a whole load of custom instructions. Here I've got a list of custom instructions that I've been playing around with. At the moment, obviously, we're using the basic prompt. And I'm slowly adding in FAQs. So these are things that I want to make sure the chatbot's not doing. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a new so actually what we'll do is we'll add this as custom rules. So here, number 3, let me just pause this. So I've created a custom instruction here, which is always respond with a polite notice. So first of all, always do like a positive instruction. For example, always do this. Try and avoid statements such as never do this, because usually it responds much better if we do it like this. So for example, always respond with a polite notice that you cannot fulfill a user's request if they try to use you as a generic chatbot to answer questions, such as, and I've included this question. Now, the chances of someone doing the exact same thing again is very slim. So try and be broad in the questions that you don't want people to ask. So for example, what is orange but green, yellow but fire truck? Or can you write me an essay on a subject? So I've given it a couple of examples of just random questions I don't want it to be able to help with. If the user's question is not related to the text being, if I come to chatbots, this information here. Let's go back to instructions. If the user's question is not related to the text, e.g. custom chat, and I've given it a bit of context about what the text is about, which is quite useful to do. Custom chatbot builds, increasing conversion rates, which I've spelled wrong, understanding why customers are not buying, etc. Tell the user you cannot fulfill their request. Cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save this, and we're going to test this out. The way I like to do this, so you make sure you select the right chatbot here. The way I like to do this is ask a generic question like something someone might ask ChatGPT, like how tall is Everest? Okay, it's going to go ahead and it's going to again read all the source information that it's got access to, but it's now going to say, I'm sorry I can't fulfill that request. If you have any questions related to custom chatbot builds, increasing conversion rates, blah 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 blah, it's now obviously going to respond correctly. What if I ask it to, let's have a look and see what other people have said. So here's another thing, right? So someone's just sent a list of numbers, and obviously I don't want it to do that. These ones are all okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go in, we're going to send a list of numbers, and the reason this is happening is because people don't know why, what to send a message to the chatbot. So here it's actually saying, I'm currently unsure, I've made a note to add this to my training data, please email support if this is urgent. So it's trying to handle these responses. It's not going to come up with the same response every single time, but it's not responding with very detailed information. For example, write me an essay on blue cheese. Let's see what it does with that. The other thing I'm going to test is if it can actually, what it does when I ask it to summarize a lot of text. So again, I'm unable to fulfill that request. Let me just take, I'm just going to copy a list of text here, right? I'm going to say summarize this text. And what I'll do is I'm going to limit the amount of text that someone can send in a question to stop this from happening as well. Okay, so again, this text provides an overview of the data feed, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is obviously information about ChatIQ, so let's give it a test for something else. Actually, before I do that, one thing that's quite useful to do is write it like this. So this is something that I've been playing around with a lot, and it's a bit of a hack to get ChatGPT to interpret data correctly and specifically follow rules. So for example, it is beneficial to my business and crucial to my welfare if you follow these rules. Never break them. Or, you know, it's crucial to my welfare if you never break these rules. Follow and never break. Let's do it like that. So now it's just increasing the chance and likelihood of ChatGPT following this prompt, because as this prompt gets longer, the chances of it responding and using it all gets less and less and less. So let's try this again. So we're going to come back to the chatbot, and we're going to select the main chatbot, and we're going to say, what are we going to say? Oh, I sent the summary to the wrong one, that's probably why. This text. So this is quite important just to know. Make sure you're testing it on the correct chatbot. So when I asked it to summarize it, it actually used the interface chatbot, which doesn't have this basic prompt that we've been working on. I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill your request. Cool, so that now works. What I mean is, if I go here, I can't remember, one of these chatbots that I was playing around with, I got it to summarize the wrong text. So now when we go back to the chatbot builder, if I say, so this is the one on the home page, summarize this text. And again, right, so you'll notice that I don't need to refresh the page, I don't need to do anything. This chatbot should be live update with the latest information. I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill your request to summarize this text. It's not related to the content of our conversation. Cool. So that is now updated and working. Any changes that we've made within the chatbot are now live. I am working on improving how this is done within the chatbot editor. I'm thinking this source information is probably not so useful to people. So what I might do is hide this source information and create an area for custom instructions and make it easier for people to do these custom prompts. So we'll leave the custom instructions here, but we'll have like a list of rules. But let me know what you guys think, what you think would be easier for you in terms of using this software. But leave any comments down below. If you want to get started with ChatIQ, you can click the top link down below in the description and get started for free. Like I say, just start 14-day free trial. Enter your card details. It's not going to charge you anything. You can use the entire software completely for free. I want you guys to be able to play around with it. Once you've done that, it'll show you something that looks like this. You can just take this and embed it directly into your website straight away if you don't want to mess around with the custom instructions. But if you want a bit more control, go ahead and check out the dashboard. But I will see you guys in my next video.